22 factory extracts, 2 days. Thanks to an upcoming vacation, I only had 2 days to complete my weekly. As such, I will be trying to get all of those 22 extracts in just 2 days. We started off strong. The Auge 1 site was admittedly difficult to use, however, I was far more geared relative to the majority of the players in this raid. This gave me a strong foundation to start with. Tagilla would prove to be problematic. With M856 in my gun, I was not even close to being able to pen either his armor or his helmet, and I'd have to get creative to try to kill him. As you can hear, he easily survived that grenade, which now leaves me with very limited options. At this point, I seriously consider just going to the extract right behind me and giving up. But I just can't give myself to pass up on the possibility of that Tagilla loot, even if my chances are less than stellar. I push into the bathroom, prepared for anything. And he's glitched into the corner, giving me an easy kill on Tagilla and an easy first extract. After a brief water intermission, I queue back in, using my admittedly slightly better kit than the one I came in with. I managed to drop a high-level player and push to try to loot his body. As I go to clear the area, I begin to hear footsteps coming from behind the blue tanker. He manages to headshot me almost immediately, but as he's using 9mm, he might as well have shot me with an airsoft bullet. He makes an attempt to run for cover, but I ultimately trap him behind the forklift, and I'm able to get a lucky headshot through the side of the forklift. I then take another easy extract, and queue into the next one. A bolt action is not going to do too hot against a Tagilla vest and class 4 armor. I put down that player before being surprised by this one in the upper floor window. Thankfully, we both managed to miss nearly our entire magazines, but one of my bullets manages to land. After a quick reset, I find myself in an awkward situation on the bottom of the stairs with a player directly above me.
Point, bitch.
Fortunately, the trash talker has a visor, and my measly M856 finally meets its match. At this point, I'm down to my last AUG, but quickly dispatch a player and manage to get his teammate very low. I also managed to get a exceptionally lucky headshot on that guy, who I will later find out was very geared, and I probably should not have been able to kill him with a headshot. You will see what I mean. I also dispatched somebody who went in with not even a pistol, making an excessive amount of noise in the flooded area. I then find out that the person who I managed to headshot with a incredibly weak bullet was wearing a Tagilla vest and helmet. I then find the scav graveyard before quickly taking my arguably unearned gear and extracting. Not sure what that was all about, but anyways, here's a brief intermission where I decide to do a little bit of trolling on this PMC. Some would argue that I probably should have just killed him instead of doing all this, but I would argue those people don't enjoy fun. Anyways, back to the factory action. I'm now down to my final AUG, and I am hoping to be able to finish it off. I did a couple raids off stream as well. I'm at roughly 8 extracts at this point, and despite killing that first guy, I then struggle with somebody running, I'm pretty sure a Glock 18, and ultimately have to reposition despite my objectively better gear. I end up putting myself in an even hairier situation with 2 people blocking the way that I plan to exit. The guy shooting at me earlier is still at the end of the hallway, which forces me to go back the other way, and I lose all that gear. A considerable setback for sure, but I'm sure this won't come to define the next set of raids. I managed to whiff almost every bullet on a unarmored player and have to retreat. And I'm not even going to commentate on this fight, honestly. You can just form your own opinion on this one. A lot of people probably would have just cut that out of the video, but not me. Get to see both the W's and the very often and recurring L's. Like that one. Thanks to my recent setbacks, I decided to bring out by far my best kit featuring an SA-58 that I very luckily managed to find on my scav. After an uneventful first raid, I take a free extract, or so I think, as I find out the hard way that in fact 2 scav kills does not get you the extraction status. As I go to loot my favorite body that is never touched, I run into Tagilla in a spot I didn't even know he could spawn. And he does the classic healing 5 meters away from me thing, so I just shoot him in the back of the head and take that free kill and loot. Of course, Tarkov giveth and Tarkov taketh away. Whereas I immediately managed to get thoraxed by 545 BT, which cannot in fact actually pen a Karund. I guess that luck I got on that Tagilla helmet headshot earlier has rebounded on me. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.